Hi everyone! Today we are going to crochet this great square rug together. You can find all the details later in the video. Let's take a closer look at it. I have it here in a mini format so I can quickly and easily show you how to crochet it. In the size that I have made here, you can use it as a coaster or as a decorative napkin for your table. However, you can also make it much larger and use it as a classic rug for a room. It has a very beautiful neat edge and the pattern itself is textured and looks very impressive. From the back side, the square looks like this. Everything is quite neat there too. The front side of the rug is very textured and bold. Please note, right from the start, you need to decide on the size of the rug you want to make. This is because it will be impossible to increase its size once you are in the middle of the process. Look here, in this part, at the very beginning of the work, we will be making chain stitches. And the final size of the rug depends on the number of stitches we start with. The more chain stitches we make, the larger the rug will be. You can crochet this rug using jute, t-shirt yarn, cord, or any other material you like. Take the material you want to work with and choose a suitable crochet hook for it. Now I will tell you how to get the rug to the size you need. For example, if you need a rug that is 1 meter by 1 meter or 2 meters by 2 meters or any other size, how do we figure out how many chain stitches to start with to get that final size? To figure this out, you need to crochet a small sample. We crochet one small section like this, a triangle using about 15 to 20 stitches, and then calculate how many stitches you need to start with to get the width you want. Let me show you an example. Here I have 15 centimeters, and for this I started with 15 chain stitches. The width of my rug turned out to be 20 centimeters. Now let's say I want to make a rug where each side is 1 meter wide. How do I know how many chain stitches to make? Let's write it down. I started with 15 chain stitches and ended up with a width of 20 centimeters. This width is the same on all sides because we are making a square. So, based on my tension, how many stitches do I need to get a width of 1 meter? Let's set up a proportion. Here, x is our unknown value, which is the number of chain stitches we need to start with. And we calculate this x using the rule of proportions. Take the 15 stitches we used, multiply by 100 centimeters, the desired width, and divide by 20 centimeters, the width we already know. When we do this calculation, we find that we need to start with 75 stitches. Based on the pattern, the number of stitches needs to be a multiple of 3. This will make it look as good as possible. Let's check. 75 divided by 3 is 25. So 75 is divisible by 3. This means that to make a rug with a 1 meter side using this yarn, I need to start with 75 chain stitches. You can calculate the number of stitches you need in the same way. I will show you how to crochet this triangle for the sample next. I will demonstrate the principle of crocheting the rug using 15 chain stitches. I have made a chain of 15 stitches and now I am making one turning chain. Now in every stitch I will work one single crochet. These are just regular single crochets without any special features. I am finishing the 15th single crochet now. I'll tighten the yarn tail a bit here so there isn't a hole and it looks neater. I have finished the row of 15 single crochets. Now let's hide the yarn tail right away. I have already made one turning chain and will now hide the tail. There are V shapes on top. We insert the hook into the first one and pull the tail up. This way, when we crochet the next row, we will hide this tail inside the row as we go. So we have these V shapes on top. From now on, we will work our single crochets only into the back loop only. This will give the rug its texture. On this side, we will work single crochets into the back loop only until we have 3 stitches left unworked at the end. We will do a decrease on those last 3 stitches and I will show you how. For now, just work single crochets into the back loop only and simultaneously hide the yarn tail. Here is how we do it. So we have finished almost the entire row and there are only 3 stitches left. Now we will do a decrease. Let me show you. I am not finishing the first single crochet, then the second and then the third. Now pull the working yarn through all the loops on the hook. Make 1 turning chain and turn your work. On the other side, we will now work 1 single crochet into every stitch, using only the back loop. I am finishing the last stitch, and this is how our work looks so far. Make a turning chain and turn the work. Once again, we work single crochets into the back loop only until there are 3 stitches left. We will do a decrease on those last 3 stitches. This is what will form our triangle because our square rug consists of 4 segments, 4 triangles. Here are our last 3 stitches, and once again we do a decrease like this. Pull the yarn through all the loops. Make a turning chain. Now the slope of our triangle is starting to form. Turn the work, and here we work single crochets into the back loop only across all the stitches. We will keep crocheting this way until we reduce all the stitches down to just 1. We are just working single crochets into the back loop only. And in this row we work the last 3 stitches together as a decrease. Here we are, we work these 3 stitches like this. Make a turning chain, turn your work. On this side, work single crochets into the back loop only in every stitch until the end of the row. Make a turning chain again and turn the work. On this first triangle, I will show you how to work every row so everything is clear. In the following segments, I will show all the specific features but in a more condensed way. Here we do a decrease across 3 stitches and make a turning chain. Turn the work and crochet into every stitch here. Finishing the row, make a turning chain and turn the work. Now crochet until only 3 stitches are left. I got a bit ahead of myself there. We do a decrease here. Make a turning chain and turn the work. In this row we work every stitch. Make a turning chain and turn the work. In this row we do a decrease on the last 3 stitches at the end. It is actually quite simple. One row has a decrease on the last 3 stitches and the next row is just worked into every stitch. This is how the triangle will gradually form. Remember to work every stitch as a single crochet into the back loop only to give our square that texture. Here we work all the stitches. Make a turning chain and turn the work. We have 3 stitches left and we will do a decrease across these 3. And that is it, one triangle is finished. You can use it as a sample to calculate how many chain stitches to start with for your desired rug size. We have now completed 1/4 of the rug. This is where we started. If you started with a larger number of chain stitches, you will simply have a larger triangle and of course a larger square. Now instead of making new chain stitches on this side, we will work a row of single crochets. First we make a turning chain, and then we will work the same number of single crochets along this side as we had in our initial chain. If we started with 15 chain stitches at the bottom, we must work 15 single crochets here as well. So let's start from here and work our single crochets. This is how we do it. And we work a row of 15 single crochets just like this. We work 15 stitches because we started with 15 chain stitches at the very beginning. If you started with, say, 75 chain stitches, then you should have 75 stitches on this side so that your square stays perfectly square. I have 14 stitches here and I am making the 15th one right here. So we have picked up all the necessary stitches along this side of the rug. Now we will crochet the next triangle using the same principle as the previous one. There are simply no differences. We do everything exactly the same way. Every stitch here is worked as a single crochet into the back loop only, with a decrease on the last 3 stitches. Just like we did for the previous triangle. We are finishing the row and doing a decrease, just like we did for the previous triangle. Make a turning chain, turn the work, and on this side we work a row of single crochets into the back loop only. Keep repeating this until the entire triangle is finished. Now that the second triangle is done, the next step is to crochet the third segment, the third triangle. We will pick up stitches along this side and then crochet exactly the same way as we did with the previous triangle. Let's start by picking up the stitches. We will pick up 15 of them, the same number as our initial chain stitches at the very start. If you started with, say, 100 stitches, then you should have 100 here. If you started with 25, you would pick up 25 stitches here. I am picking up 15 stitches. Done. Now we start crocheting the third segment using exactly the same principle as before. Make a turning chain, turn the work and work single crochets into the back loop only until there are 3 stitches left unworked. Do a decrease on them and continue crocheting this triangle just like the previous ones. Now we have finished the first segment, the second segment and the third. All segments are crocheted the same way. Now we just need to finish the fourth segment. The difference here is that while we are crocheting this triangle, we also need to join it to the first triangle. So the crocheting itself will be very similar to what we did before. We will work 15 single crochets again. We work these single crochets just like we did the previous 2 times. The only difference will be in working the very last 15th single crochet. It goes like this. We need to attach it to the first segment at the same time. I am working the 14th single crochet and I have the 15th one left. I will work it the following way. Take a look. When we were making the initial chain for the very first triangle, we were left with these little loops here. We will attach the last triangle to the first one using these loops to join our square together. So I am working the 15th stitch like this. And as a result, we have worked a single crochet and attached it to the first segment at the same time. It looks almost invisible. We will keep using these loops to attach the rest of our triangle as we go. We will be joining it to the first triangle every other row. So we will attach to these loops every second row. Now that this row is done, turn the work to the other side. To keep the join as invisible as possible, we will not make a turning chain here. Instead, we immediately work single crochets into the back loop only. Work to the end as usual and do a decrease on the last 3 stitches. There is no other difference in the crocheting here. Just work as you have been doing. The only difference is the attachment to the first segment. Make a turning chain here, turn the work and work single crochets into the back loop only. Crochet everything as usual, but again there is a small difference when we get to the end. Since we did not make a turning chain, our first stitch becomes hard to see, but it must be worked to keep everything symmetrical. I'm working this stitch like this. Now we will join the work to the first segment. Skip this loop and join into the next one. This is necessary so the work doesn't pull or bunch up. Here is how we do it. We will always join this way every other row. We attach on the front side of the rug and on the back side we just work the row as usual. That is why we skip one loop on the first segment. We do not make a turning chain here, just work the row as usual with a decrease at the end. Then make a turning chain, turn the work and crochet back as usual. Now I'll show you one more time how to attach the last segment to the first one. Work a single crochet into the back loop only. Don't forget that last stitch. It's hiding right here, and we do it like this. Skip this loop and attach to the next one. This is how we will continue crocheting until the very end. Just keep going. This segment is crocheted exactly like the first 3. The only difference is the attachment here to the first segment, the first triangle. And now we have reached the end, the last stitch, and we attach it too. And that is it, our square or square rug is finished. All that is left is to cut the yarn. We cut the yarn, pull it through, and then we will need to hide it. Now we have this square, which as you can see consists of 4 triangles joined together. So the rug is done. Well done. Thank you for crocheting with me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like the video, and click the bell icon. See you in the next videos.